Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the press conference with head coach Tyler Hildebrand and sisters Morgan and Savannah Chacon. We will begin the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Tyler, and then we'll open it up to questions from the media for coach as well as the players.
First off, I want to say congrats to Santa Barbara on a good match. They've had a good start to the conference. I don't know if you guys know, but they've had a couple 5-set battles, and they came back from 2012 against Cal Poly to win in 4. So they have been tested and resilient. They're a really good team with a lot of good arms. Nicole and her staff do a great job. So congrats to them on a hard fought match. And so our message for us, we've talked a lot about joy. We've talked a lot about. We're always talking about, one of the reasons we're here is to try to teach life lessons through volleyball. And the biggest life lesson is when things aren't going your way, can you still stick to who you are? Can you still hold yourselves accountable to the things you're trying to work on? Because it's real easy to fracture and do all that. And so, obviously, starting out 1-3 in conference, that's not what we had hoped for, and that was not what we wanted. So we knew today was going to be a really big match, and it was going to be a test of whether we could do that. And so I'm really proud. I'm really proud of our team and our staff for, that's the life lesson is, when things aren't going your way, can you respond and can you stay together and not just do it individually or whatever? So they did that tonight. Once again, the first set, we still weren't kind of in that zone. And then the last 3 sets, it was an example of how tough our girls are and how much they love playing this game. And last thing is, we're as Jalen Reyes. I'll talk to Jalen later. But the last thing is that, we're asking these girls to do some things on offense in a lot of areas, but on offense that a lot of teams don't do. And sometimes that takes time. And we struggled on offense to execute early. And this is, I think if you take, 13 of our last 15 sets, we're hitting close to 300. And that's a big number for I think, collegiate women's volleyball in the Big West. So we're proud of the growth there.
Coach, your team obviously had a slow start in the first set, but then rebounded the rest of the way, including grinding it out in the 4th set. What did you all improve on when it came to the match as it went on? And what did you all try to take away from Santa Barbara as the match went on?
The first thing was we served really well in the first set, and they were passing great. And so one of the messages was we got to keep serving that way. And then they stopped passing. They still passed a good number, but we got to break them down a little bit, some short serves. So that was an adjustment. It's a team that sets a decent amount of middle and a lot of right side, and they didn't set as much right side, and they went away from the middle completely for a little bit and then set quite a bit of it in the 4th. And they weren't really connecting on it, but they were still getting some kills. So we were trying to find the ebbs and flows of what their adjustments were. And I think our girls, I think they did a great job of hanging in there. But listen, we've been really good in a lot of areas this year. We got some strengths, some things that we're working on. Our floor defense is something that you've heard me say, but we're working on that. Our floor defense was exceptional tonight, and our covering was exceptional. And those are the 2 factors that won us the match. And there's no question in my mind that that's what won us the match tonight.
For Morgan and Savannah Chacon. I mean, look, there was a time where on the broadcast I had to catch myself saying Chacon to Chacon to Chacon at least one time tonight. It got messy at times in terms of being out of system all night long. What was the trust? What is the trust between you two, just being sisters, being able to be on the same team, on the court at the same time, kind of having to rely on each other sometimes?
I think in terms of trust, I guess that would relate to use Savannah setting me. I think in practice we do drills and we talk about it a lot about trusting our system, trusting the system that our team plays in. And I think just trusting our system, then I in full trust Savannah here to set me the ball, and I trust that she's going to make the play that goes with our system, and I just kind of like leave it at that and trust she's going to make the play and just go for it. So
yeah, I think for me, a lot of it is just like we kind of joke about it, like a sibling feel. But
Sure.
I don't know. I give her the ball a lot, and I think she knows to put it away. I think there's times too where if I do like set her a little bit off, she does take like a smart shot, and then like that gives me just like more of a feel and like what she needs, and then I can give her that. So, yeah.
And then Morgan, obviously the offense really picked up, as well as you. You got contributions from Jalen, Katie, and Callie was starting to pick up steam. What can you say about the offense and how it was just improving as the match went on, as you went from hitting 139, 250, 244 to 400 in that fourth set?
I think with our offense and the offense we're trying to run, I feel like we just get better and better and better the more that we just keep trusting it and stay aggressive. I noticed that we just continue to get better the more that we go for it and trust each other. So I think that's what we did tonight and stuck with it.
Savannah, for you, there was a time where you were able to serve a few aces in a row. There was a timeout called in between as well, but it's kind of been something we've seen throughout the season where you're basically the serving ace getter, not like that's something that you practice, but what is it that maybe you've been able to focus on that has given you this serving line success?
I think especially in practice, I just like put myself in that position a lot mentally. And I think just like my self-talk and just like knowing my potential when I serve, like sometimes I try and like really go for it and it just kind of keeps going. So I just like getting a feel at first and then just kind of like going from there. Yeah, I think it's like one of my roles when I come in. So I definitely like take advantage of that and then give as much as I can with it. So just going to keep building on it.
Savannah won't say this, but and I try to hold her back from this, but she also gets a lot of serving reps on her own outside of practice. She asks me just about every day, and I'm like, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. But I don't want her, overworking. But she does a lot of lonely practice. It's a good phrase. She goes in there and serves by herself, and so I think that's a big factor too. She's all in, and it shows in her serving. I think she's first or second in Big West and Aces.
That's how it's going to stop. Pretty cool.
And then Tyler, obviously you're kind of in that halftime state of mind with, as Alan Knipewood would say. How big is this win going into tomorrow and going forward into Big West Conference play?
Well, we needed a win. We needed a win against a good team because we feel like we can compete and play with a lot of the teams or all the teams in their conference. So I think tonight was bigger than a lot of wins because we needed to do it, and we needed to do it in front of our home crowd and the way we fought and played. So it was really big. This conference is I think getting better every year. It didn't necessarily show in preseason, which I'm a little surprised at some of the records. I mean, because the teams we've been playing are better than I think their preseason record showed. So maybe there's a little bit of a figuring out phase, but we've watched Northridge. We're prepped for Northridge, and I think we've learned anything in the first 5 matches is we can't take any match for granted. We got to come out and get after it. So we're going to prep hard for Northridge and be ready to go.
Just one more. And then Morgan and Savannah, obviously the crowd was getting more and more into it in that fourth set as they were rising to their feet, getting loud. How much of an impact do you think that made for your team as that eventually helped you all close out the match?
I'll go first. I think it feels really good to play at a school where they really appreciate volleyball and the sport. And so when I feel like when the crowd gets loud, they can see how hard we're playing and how well we're playing together. So I feel like it's a really nice feeling and definitely adds to the energy of our team and helps drive us forward.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to feel the support. And with them coming and still sticking with us and being there and being loud. I think you just you want to keep giving because you can just feel that it's so much more than what is going on in front of us. So it was really cool to hear them tonight, and it really helped us. So
let's get one follow up on that. I want to thank the fans that came. It's not easy when we've lost a couple matches to keep showing up, but I hope they like what they're seeing and how the our team is playing, not just the wins and losses. So we're grateful for everyone that came tonight.
Thank you.
Oh.